We totally misalign ourselves when we don't examine our belief systems because our beliefs change. All right, so this post by Tony Robbins, clarity creates power. He says, our lives are shaped by two invisible forces, our values and our beliefs. Your values determine what matters most to you, what you pursue, what you protect, and where you spend your time and energy. Your beliefs act as the filter. They decide whether you see opportunity or limitation, whether you take the leap or hold yourself back. And here's the key that really hit me. Most people never stop to examine either. They live by default, not by design. But when you consciously choose your values and align them with the empowering beliefs, you create momentum that changes everything. And I just feel like that is such a powerful statement because we talk about the enemy being unexplored or unexamined beliefs and blind spots in our lives. A lot of times when we don't examine what we believe and we're trying to figure out why we're so frustrated, it's typically because we are no longer aligned with our values and the values of what we're doing and who we're with or who we're working with. And I always say this, beliefs dictate what our values are, and our values dictate what our behaviors are. And a lot of time we just don't know what to do. We don't know how to behave. We don't know how to do the thing because we haven't examined the belief that's creating the value that's really dictating the behavior. When we don't examine our beliefs, when we don't give ourselves that chance, we don't really know what to do. We don't know where our values lie. We don't know what we're going to do next, and we don't know how to behave when it comes to those things. And a lot of people, like Tony is saying, they don't sit there and examine this. And this is what's so important to Adam and I, and why when we meet with clients, the third meeting that we have with most clients is, where are your beliefs at? Where are your values at? Because there's such contradiction when you live by default and not by design. When we live by default, we're just accepting things from our childhood, from our young adulthood, that we just believe because other people believed it or imposed it on us or whatever they did to encourage us to think that way. We just take it and we don't question it. Thinking about it, the death of Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk made everybody question their beliefs. He was so ingrained in his beliefs and he understood what he believed and he demonstrated what he valued, but he challenged people in their beliefs. And that's why he was seen sometimes as so antagonistic, is because he challenged people to what they were believing. What did they really believe about things? And when people, and most of the people you see in the debates that he's had, they never questioned their belief before. They were just going by default and not by design. And this is where we have to choose what we believe. Beliefs are a choice. You can believe to do one thing or you can believe to do something else. And then that belief will determine what you value. So if you don't know what you believe, you can't determine what you value. And if you can't determine what you value, what kind of life are you going to live? How are you going to behave to support all of that? So I just feel like a lot of self-employed people, when you decide to give yourself a job, run a business, however you see it, you have to understand what you value. So if you don't examine what you believe, you can't move forward in developing your entire business because you don't know what you're doing. You don't know what's important to you. You lose why you're doing this. You don't get a chance to express yourself the way that you may want to because you never re-examined it. The challenge here is examine your beliefs because they will dictate what you value and then they'll teach you how to behave.